The 1988 Formula One season is remembered as one of the most dominant campaigns in the sport's history, particularly due to the performance of McLaren Honda. It was also the final year where turbocharged engines were permitted, although under strict regulations, as the sport prepared to transition back to naturally aspirated power units for 1989. The top cars were the McLaren MP4, designed by Steve Nichols and heavily influenced by Gordon Murray, was a low-line, ground-hugging car that revolutionized aerodynamics. Senna and Prost were virtually untouchable, with the only loss coming at Monza, where both cars failed. Ferrari with its F188C had an emotional win at Monza, just weeks after the death of Enzo Ferrari, was a major highlight. It came after both McLarens retired, marking Ferrari's only victory of the season. The team struggled with reliability and fuel consumption throughout the year. Benetton B188 emerged as the best of the naturally aspirated teams, often finishing just behind the turbos. While not podium regulars, they were consistent and benefited from the reliability of their Ford engine. Nannini in particular showed flashes of brilliance and raw speed. After Senna left for McLaren, Lotus inherited the Honda engine contract and signed reigning world champion Nelson Piquet. However, the 100T chassis was poorly designed, and the car suffered from understeer and poor handling. It was a major disappointment for the once great team. Arrows A108B ran the rebadged BMW turbo engines under the Megatron name. While not a front-running team, they were competitive in the midfield. Cheever and Warwick both scored points, and their reliability allowed them to pick up the occasional strong finish. March with its 881 Judd made a big impression, designed by Adrian Newey, marking the debut of a man who would become one of F1's greatest designers. Though the Judd engine lacked power, the car's aerodynamics made it fast in high-speed corners. Capelli even led a lap at Suzuka, the only naturally aspirated car to do so that season. Williams struggled in 1988 after losing their Honda engine supply to McLaren and Lotus. The Judd engines lacked power, and the FW12 had issues with its active suspension system early in the season. By the end of the year, they had reverted to passive suspension and began to show some improvement. The 1988 season was essentially the story of McLaren Honda's supremacy, with other teams fighting for scraps. Ferrari salvaged pride with an emotional win at Monza, while Benetton, March, and Arrows gained respect for their consistent performances despite being outgunned by the turbocharged McLarens and Ferraris. Lotus and Williams, former front-runners, struggled to adapt to changing technical and organizational landscapes.